Well, hello everyone. Have right here is Art Alive right here, and I can maybe mention also too is that with Art Alive, that the paint bucket would be one of my favorite tools. Whenever I was first using the playing this game right here, like whenever I first ran it, you would say that would have been back in the early of 1992, something like that. Whenever I ran it from that old video store. But you see right here that with the Art Alive game, that I got this running right here on my Sega Genesis right here. And whenever I was running it, I can remember that one of the very first things that I remember seeing on some of those paint programs, of course, was not like what you call the stencil tracing, or if it's anything that was related to watercolor, but a lot of it was the paint bucket. And I know that with the paint bucket right here, that we can just see things just, I guess you would say, just magically appearing with like the paint bucket right there. But you have right here the menu right here. But I'll go ahead and show everybody here that since for Christmas time right here. But I'll go ahead and use right here. Then select, see here, I guess you see, A to select right there, but then you have here's the pencil right here. But I'll go ahead and show everybody here that, to start drawing right here. And I know sometimes that usually that most artists will be using one hand just to be able to control the drawing features, and the other hand that they will be using, just to be able to, position the paper but let's just say if I were to do something artistic right here, and if we're talking about the left down right arrows it is, and want to know just a little bit too that what really I'm like, can you really do anything really artistic just by pressing up, down, left, and right? But still though, but if we're going to be tap the controls a little slowly, and you could also do different circles and all that using the circle as say the spiral tools. But still though, that you have right here that is the kind of you just kind of getting introduced to the program just a little bit more. But let's just say that this right here will be like maybe a set of blocks or something like that. I was going to say that that around Christmas time that anything artistic that you were trying to present to somebody. And let's just say that if you were to be using this program right here to maybe to draw a map, and that you're likely wanting to a map, like, and use a program like this, even to show the grandkids, just to be able to draw a map. And drawing a map, I guess, is not so difficult. But I'll go ahead and show everybody here that this right here will be an example right here of like a building right here. And with that building, that it would also represent for anything in particular, such as location of certain things around the city. And also that right here is a certain floors, the first floor, and then the second floor would be at about right here. So yeah, that so with this program right here, I would probably say that one of the very first things that maybe somebody would think about whenever they're going to be learning how to draw with it, this using that Art Alive, would be, of course, is to go ahead and draw something artistic such as a map. And you're likely thinking too that if you only have access to about maybe 4 or 5 colors, and then plus that have right here is maybe like a little street that comes around. But still though, that have you thought of that to where you would use programs like this right here just to be able to draw a map? And think it is to where that you control the pencil right here, using the up and down right arrows right here, and thinking is to where that, okay, I don't even know what that is, really what that's supposed to mean. But still though, that with these different controls right here, that you get a variety of about 5 or 6 controls. And I want to know a little bit too that instead of drawing circles, that you're basically drawing straight lines. Back when I was young, that you always wondered to where about how many times you're able to get some practice drawing a straight line. But have right here, go ahead and bring up the menu right here. But with this menu that see the paint bucket. So yeah, the paint bucket right here. I could probably say that I used to have a lot of fun with the paint bucket because it's like, a lot of times it's like just pushing A and then it would just say done. But have right here, see, go ahead and use the blue right here. Yeah, so use a certain color, the blue right there, and then with the blue, then I can go ahead and show everybody with this this box right here. But anyway, go ahead and select that right there, and then fill in that box right there. So yeah, you can't really, I don't know if you can't really mix any colors. Sorry, but I'll go ahead and fill in this box right there. So yeah, so let's just say that if we were using a program like this, it looks like a flag on top of the building right there. But if we were to use this program right here to draw something such as a map. So if we want to use that, like say example right here of a map right there, okay, you got right there is the building, and then maybe if you want to go ahead and include maybe a few trees in the background. So yeah, so use up and down to say draw like a little tree right there. You're likely thinking too that okay, you're gonna go ahead and draw a map and show somebody exactly where a certain location is. I'm like, yeah, just do something artistic. And really though, that cannot really be like any source of language that you would like to maybe tell somebody, such as that whenever you start doing your artwork, then you may think as to where that really you spend a number of minutes of your time working with something, and then find out too that exactly about what does this mean, what exactly is this for, and if you think that you're really getting nowhere, there's a difference between what you're trying to do and what's already there. But still though, that I know that looking at something like this right here, that it seems like just a little bit to where that the best ways of how to solve problems, half the time it seems like it comes by saying is to where they try to stare at it just to kind of get an idea about exactly what these pieces are for. So let's just say that if you were trying to put together a puzzle or some sort, and then maybe that possibility that using an art program like this, and maybe if you were just checking it out just to show a few of the younger kids the program, and want to know too that anything artistic that you can really do just by using the simple up, down, left, and right arrows. And maybe if you want to go ahead and draw maybe like a few circles, it is, and anything artistic that you can do with that. And so let's just say that if this right here was an example of a map, and half the time that this thing is toward, oh okay, exactly where is that map, what direction that map's going. But really though, that if we could see that right there, that it seems to change colors too, go from lighter to dark, like the lines and all that. So really though, if we're going to be looking at that, to me it looks a little bit like the Game Boy Color of Super Mario. But still though, that I understand what I say the best about Art Alive. But anyway, I did talk about for the best remembering about Art Alive, and only by say for Christmas time it is. But anyway, Merry Christmas everyone, and a Happy New Year.